This is Joseph Basic, and welcome to Female Empowerment Movement, also on the Fired Up Network. Welcome to PWHL Over the Glass with Taylor Woods and the icon, the legend, Digit Murphy. Before I begin, by the way, look at this. Look at the logo here for Fem. What a great, like, the M is like a
I like
W.
the way the W comes in. Yeah, good. It's good
But,
stuff.
but give the crown to Taylor. All right. Before we begin, Digit, I don't know if you know this. I have exclusively arranged if Taylor Woods gets drafted as we speak, we get 50% of her contract. Right, Taylor?
No, I need that as a moving expense.
Well,
Moving
you know
expense.
what?
Okay.
We'll negotiate off camera later, Joe. But she's
All
going to give us something
All
when
right,
she gets
we'll
drafted.
negotiate off
Don't worry.
camera. But hold on here. I'm watching CBC and all this draft coverage and all this. I'm very disappointed. They had Billie Jean King there. For me, Digit, stay back here. Maybe even for Taylor Woods. I'll
Stay
ask you.
back.
Okay, stay back. Yeah, stay back.
All right, stay back.
If
Stay back.
you're going to have somebody talk about ladies hockey, women's hockey, and changing the game, because this changes the game, you would have Digit Murphy in Toronto at CBC putting, okay, she's a staple hold of pushing the ladies in hockey and around the world. In fact, in tennis, you could beat Billie Jean King in tennis, no problem, Digit. All right, Taylor, do you agree or not?
Yeah, no, I agree. I was listening to it like over the last couple hours or so. And you know what? They did a good job of generalizing and stuff. It's like, hey, this is the growth of it. But of course, there's always more sides and having more stories and having more insight. Digit always brings that. So it comes like okay, you expect it. It comes when it's not expected, but it just makes it entertaining. So definitely having her there would have been an asset.
I think you're right, Taylor.
Go ahead, Dig. Go.
Thank you, Taylor. Joe, and just to follow up with what Taylor said, I think what they're missing out on is the history and the historical perspective of what is happening. This has been a build, not only from me, right? I definitely have been in that conversation for women's professional sports for a while, but people like Ken Dufton, Pat and Fran from the OHA, people in the US that like the Minnesota Checkers who started like adult hockey. Like when you tip off the next level pro women's league, you have to speak, especially Billie Jean King. Speak to the history, Billie Jean. You've been in the sport since the 70s. Talk about the people that came before. And I think watching it, I think they did a great job. They made it look pro and everything, but I think there was a big miss on the historical and who came before them and how they needed to pay a little homage to that. It didn't just happen, right? Taylor Woods, correct me if I'm wrong, but you would not even have had an opportunity if people, have Ken Dufton and Dick Murphy and Laura Halderson and Jackie Bardo and Heather Lindstad and Shannon Miller and Katie Stone. If we hadn't pushed that agenda in the NCAA, right? Hockey, Canada and USA Hockey don't pick up that ball to then have Olympics and now transitioning to the pros. And I feel like they tried to do it, but I think they missed the mark.
Even just having just a little bit of a stronger message, like there's so much background to it. And I know they're trying to like stuff in like on prime time, like 2 hours of their draft, and they almost barely missed it. But even just having, hey, the acknowledgement of all these people listed, and then even like later on, go in and dive into those stories and stuff like that and have those people come up. So it was hard and stuff like that. I mean, but yeah, they could have dove in just a little bit more versus like their just primary message that we've heard over the last couple of years.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Taylor.
One more thing. It's not. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say they want to make it only about the players. Okay. And yes, the players are a huge factor in all this, but it's also about fans, the business model, what you represent as a league. And I think it's like, oh, this is a historic moment. No, in a historic moment, CWHL came out and we had a championship on television, right? We've already paid players, right? I want to know what's so historic about this happening in this situation that hasn't come before it. That's where I take kind of exception to how they rolled it out. This was not the first time this happened. It wasn't. So it's the first time it's happened for them, but it has not the first time that it's happened. Okay, go, Joe.
All right, number one here. I'm gonna go to Taylor, but I'll you know what's historic here. You want to say? I'll say the truth because nobody else says the truth here. I'm the president of Provinces Canada. Nobody says the truth this time. It's by CBC's carrying it and the National Hockey League, and they got somebody with bags and bags and more bags and more bags of money, but doesn't provide a correct hockey stick. Everybody there gets a hockey stick. That hockey stick I played in 1972 with that stick. But you got Canadian Tire sponsoring the thing, and they don't bring a hockey stick. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Taylor. Go. That was to me was a little interesting. Taylor, you go. I don't want to say anything about it.
Just the hockey stick. Like, do you like what I was assuming?
I don't know. I don't even know if they get the hockey stick, but that hockey stick I played in 1974 with it.
Like, yeah, even if explained, like, even though like the logos and stuff, okay, like, how like the PHF, hey, here's the logo, here's the meaning of it. Even if they would have said, hey, like here's the wooden stick, like it's sort of just like, even if they added a little bit of that, okay, but yeah, like I don't think they have jerseys ready. I don't think they just want to go like Ottawa or Minnesota straight across a jersey and give it out to people because it's like, hey. So I think the hockey stick was just the best case. And it's something to have a photo around. So have the group there, have the photo, move on. Yeah, it is what it is.
I think for all the sophistication that they had around, the studio with the women talking, the interviewing, the whole setup, I think that it lacked that piece of it was a little unsophisticated. How about that? And I also believe that they don't have the logos, to your point, Taylor. I'm not sure that they rolled out the arenas, and it begs the question for me, were they really ready to roll out the league? Could they have waited another year? Like, what was the rush? Was it to just put the PHF out of business? I'm not really sure what the rush was, but, we have to say we wish them well. Okay, we have to take the high road, and we have to wait and see. But I'm going to say one last thing, and then I'll let you go, Joe. Stop reducing opportunities, PWHL. Billie Jean King created opportunities through Title IX, 1972. She should be elevating the number of opportunities. Do not reduce us from 13 teams that we had in women's hockey. Now we're down to 6. And now you have opportunities for who I call the upper echelon, right? Only the Olympians, only the people that are in the NHL, only the people who believe with them, who believe, I think there's room for more people and more opportunities. All I'm going to say, there's always room for more.
Did you, before you go, you talked about not being ready. What do you think of this new logo?
Oh, you're ready. It does look like a crown. It looks like an M. It looks like a W. I'm pretty impressed with the Femme Network, Joe. Good job.
Yeah, well, you're going to be a big part of it. Taylor's going to be a big part. Any last comments? I know you got to go, so I'll 10 minutes more with Taylor, but go ahead.
Yeah, I did want to talk a little bit about and I don't know who they took after the third round, because it was taking a while. I didn't get to see the whole thing, but besides for who they take,
Natalie Spooner went to the Toronto team in round 4. Laskova, who's a teammate of Taylor Woods, went to Montreal.
Anyone else?
Lauren Gable went to Boston.
Gable, okay.
Yeah.
What about anyone else from the T6? T Woods?
It's just Laska and Taven so far, and they went
Yeah.
both to Montreal. Marchman also went to Montreal right afterwards. So that's sort of big for Montreal. And then Corinne Schroeder went to New York. So New York was very grateful about that because they haven't drafted a goalie. It's like, oh, they were looking at her, and I can't believe they picked her that low. So, so she's going there. Someone just drafted Jill Saunier, so that's a teammate of mine. Cornell, Gradin alum, great energy. So, not sure where she's going quite yet. I just don't know what team it was, but congrats
New
to her.
York. New York.
So, all right. So before I go, I'm going to pay homage to the people like Taylor Woods, Cheyenne Darkangelo, Elaine Chuley, Emma Woods, all of the women that came before this PWHL who deserve a shout out. And I'm not even doing it justice. They're, Madison Packer, people like that who have kept the lights on in women's hockey so that this opportunity can happen. I almost feel like, they should have had a little more bridging the gap between the PHF and the PW. Instead of just dumping that whole league out of business, I think it was in poor taste. I don't think that they mentioned us enough. I think that we kept the lights on during a time of darkness, during COVID. There was so many great things that the PHF stood for, and to just snuff them out and put them out of business, I think was done in poor taste. And I'm just going to give you a little lead up to this. Don't count the players from the PHF out. I'm going to foreshadow that a little bit. Do not count the players from the PHF out. There will be something coming. I will foreshadow this. There will be something coming, and there will be add-ons to this league because it's not an easy thing to stand up.
Can I say something also here? There will be, I'm going to say another league. Somebody out there is going to come out with another league. I've been already contacted to be the commissioner. Get Taylor, I'm going to be the commissioner. All right. Listen, but Digit, maybe we could get you back here tomorrow or the next day to completely review the complete draft and all that. But they always said they started this whole show out with this is a day and this is history. You are a history maker. You're a game changer. You're an icon. You're the legend. I call you the Don Cherry of ladies hockey. Taylor agrees. All right. The Rock even agrees. If you lay the smackdown, they will come. All right. Do you agree with this? And is it a game changing for ladies hockey?
I think the amount of money they got was a game changer. I think that how they're rolling it out is interesting. I never believe in being the NHL's arm candy. I think that's what they're doing. I think the NHL can be a partner in this. I haven't seen that. I just honestly, like, the first hire really put a bad taste in my mouth. When they announced the first hire being a junior guy from Canada, like, to me, this is about women. This is about women's sports. It's about elevating women. I don't think they need any men coaching. There's only 6 spots. There are enough women that are coaching that are good that could be coaching. There are enough GMs out there that are women that are good. There's only 6 spots. So I really believe that, yes, you're empowering the players, but I think you could roll it out with a complete women's arsenal of great women. They're out there. So, hey, you know what? Good for them. They got the money. That's the thing they got.
If you wanted game changing, here's an idea. Put Ron McLean, the icon of hockey, on that panel and passing the torch to a lady there who can carry the ball. Pass it to Andy Petrillo. Pass it to Taylor Wood. Pass it to have even Don Cherry there, who's an icon legend. Pass it. This is the time for the ladies to take over. That's what they should have done.
Yeah. Well, I think they did a good job. You got Tessa Bonham there. They did the broadcast right. I will give it that. They had Cassie up there. I think they really did the broadcast right, which kudos to them. But, that takes money. So, again, they got the money. But rolling it out in the Hockey Canada and the USA Hockey fashion, I think lacks sophistication, is all I'm going to say. And I know there's other ways to do it, but hey, they've got the money. I hope they make it. I really wish them well. I just think that the WNBA model is a paddle. I think the NWSL model is the way to go. And I think it lacks creativity. That's all I'm going to say. I got to jump.
All right.
Mike
So,
drop Digit Murphy out.
John,
Thanks
tell
for
everybody
having me.
how they could get a hold of you.
Montreal is
At
turning into the
Digit.
Toronto Six. They just drafted another teammate of mine. So
Wait a minute. Taylor, who is it? And are you going to be Is the phone going to be? Do you know any
It's
French? Come
Teresa.
on. Come on.
Yeah,
Do you
no,
know any
she's a
French?
great power forward. So yeah, no, just Montreal's turning into Toronto. It's like, ooh,
Good.
okay. Yeah,
Sauvageau is it. Sauvageau is a good friend of mine. Sauvageau is going to do it right. I'm going to pick it right now. Sauvageau's winning the league. That's it. Got to go.
All right.
Mic drop.
That's
See you
Digit
guys.
Murphy, the icon legend here on Fem and Fired Up Network. And she's going to have a show for Fem and Fired Up Network coming very soon. So will you. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. Now, Taylor, like all joking aside, you got your phone ready? Do you have your phone ready?
I
Because
do. I have it running. I like my earpiece is in. This is like you're hearing the hockey in the background. My earpiece is in, listening to the draft. So I'm doing a double time here, actually triple time because I coach soon.
All right, so I'll let you go in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but let's talk about your teammates. You said 3 teammates have gone, and all 3 teammates to Montreal. All right, as your teammates, do you now? I'm going to say this. Do you feel that if you're going to go to some team, you rather be Montreal because with your teammates?
I see. They haven't had like the Toronto, like even Markham versus Montreal sort of play like it has been in the past. So for me, it's like okay, that sort of comes up, and it's like, uh, I'll play hard for any team that drafts me. That's per se. But even to just the history of it, it's just like whenever you say Montreal, I just go back to the Markham rivalry. I go back to the T6 rivalry for that little stint of period. So, yeah, I wish hey, congratulations. That's a huge honor for them, and they're just gonna rock it out with their team.
All right, I asked Digit what she thinks. I'm going to ask you. Here we go again.
It pops. It pops. And when you asked Digit, my head was actually like right under the crown. I was like, that's cool.
Why do you
But
think
yeah,
I did it like that? Come on.
it pops. Like it stands out. Like when people come and it's like, okay, like that's a catchy logo. So
All right,
and
so
with more catchy broadcasting and analysts with it. So you should tune into the show. That's
and
I think the second or third time I've done a mic
here,
drop.
here's Mike Drop Fired Up Network with a lot of fire. But I'm gonna ask you. You were tell everybody as we got a couple minutes left. So tell everybody last couple weeks where you were playing hockey and you brought some colleagues, some teammates to maybe do some shows with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, this actually is from where I was. I was in Dubai for about 9 days. I was playing, looking over the city. It's beautiful. They know how to show off their city, and playing some hockey down there. So we did. We beat. We won the tournament. We had some great teammates. We had some good laughs. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then, yes, I'm bringing on a teammate. She is full of energy. She has such a big heart. Snowboarder, winter sports, inline hockey, ice hockey. So, morale,
You know
it'll
how to
come
play.
on
Is
every
there
so
any
often.
ice in Dubai? You played
There is
hockey in
ice.
Dubai?
It was a little wet. It was a little wet, but there was ice. We did play 4 games in a row on that ice. So the first 2 games were good. The third game was okay, and then the fourth game was a little. You wouldn't want to fall, but it's okay. We played hockey. We did well. We came together as a team, and we won. So
So
good team win.
I'll ask you the obvious question here. Is there obviously you're gonna say you want to get drafted? Is there a team in the PWHL that you want to get drafted to? Now, there's only 6 teams. Obviously, you want to stay in Toronto, but you're out of Winnipeg. Would you like to play Minnesota?
This is tough. You're putting me on the spot. I haven't been drafted yet. These GMs might be like tuning in right now
Yeah,
and saying,
okay.
"Okay, like
Okay, here.
is this
I'm just.
person not going to want to come? Okay,
All
we're
right,
just
all
going
right.
to
She wants to
phone.
play in Montreal
I
because
just want
her
to play
teammates are
hockey.
there.
I will
Toronto is
play.
her
I'll
home.
play hockey.
Yeah, you'll play hockey, all right? She'll play hockey. And by the way, she scored the game tying goal in the Isabel Cup. So she's clutch. And she shoots left and right, and she can
Mhm.
play defense and offense. Can you play goalie? Now you
Yep.
can play goalie. Just see it. Yeah, I'm
I
trying to
did
get you
make
to
a
talk.
blocker save down in Dubai as well. It just came out naturally. I was just like, and I watched the puck. It was pretty nice.
So as a player, and hopefully you're gonna get drafted and all that, how excited are you to see quote unquote an unofficial one league?
It's I I'm just sort of just in the moment. I had some good times with the PWH or PHF. I had some good times with the CWHL, and just sort of just the timeline. So we'll ride this wave, see how it goes. But yeah, I just want more exposure to the women's game, more people playing playing hockey in general. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, that's Taylor Woods, and Taylor. Maybe we'll talk to you and Digit tomorrow. We'll do tomorrow or sometime this week a recap of the whole draft and all that.
Oh,
If you don't get drafted, you're a free agent. You could pick and choose whoever you want, right?
they'll. I'll have my phone open, but let's not jump to that right now. There's still what like eight rounds left, 7 rounds left. So bunch of players to be said. Hopefully, my name is said over the next hour or so. Um, yeah, fingers crossed with that.
A Digit just sent me a text and said you could give Taylor's digits on the air to any team in the PWHL who wants, in case they don't hear. So I'll give you the digits. Do not call Digit. Call her unofficial agent, me, here at FEM, Female Empowerment Movement, or Fired Up Network. And by the way, we talked about Digit's show. Let's talk about your show as we close it out. You're going to have, of course, I'm going to make the announcement here. We're about 2 weeks away from preseason in the National Hockey League. And last year, you did a great job covering the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm going on. You told me to say this. Hold on. You told me
Okay.
to say this. The future Stanley Cup champions, Toronto Maple Leafs, here on the. You did
God.
not say what year. Could be 2067. Could be 2097. I don't know if I'm going to be alive, but the future. And obviously, they're going to win one of these years, right? Future Stanley Cup champion, Toronto Maple Leafs. You'll see the analyst of all analysts, Taylor Woods, here when the season starts. But you're also going to have another exclusive show on FEM. Go ahead, tell everybody about it.
Yes, it's called Everything Athletic. We are literally going to talk about everything that goes into athlete, like to be an athlete and in athletics and sports. I've met some really, really cool people from all sort of the walks of sports that I've done. And I just want to bring people on and just sort of we could talk, we could learn more about them, or and they could share their stories because that's what makes sports cool. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm very excited to just dive deeper into conversations with them.
All right, that's everything athletic exclusively on FAM. So she'll be exclusively on FAM for that and exclusively on the Fired Up Network for NHL coverage also. And don't forget, tell everybody how they could get a hold of you social media wise.
Yeah. First, I'm going to drop a bomb because I found out actually right before the draft that I got invited to Strongest Woman in Canada uh,
Yes.
in October. It's pretty soon, and the draft's going on today, so I haven't responded for my invite, but
Well, hold on,
it
hold
is
on, hold on,
in
hold on,
Manitoba.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You haven't responded to your invite. So why don't you respond live on international TV?
I could just say like, hey, present, like check, I'll go. But it is a month away. There's a lot that could happen like over the next little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait 24 hours before I just jump on it. But it is in Manitoba, which is where I'm from. So
Oh.
it'd be nice to go back there and show them that I could lift some heavy weight.
So is that Canadian World Championships?
Uh, just a Canadian, yeah, strongest woman in Canada. So like uh, there's some amateurs coming, some pros, but you sort of compete to sort of see who will win the title of strongest woman in Canada.
And what are your chances for that?
I'm a string bean to compared to some of these people. So just I'm in lightweight, and it's an open weight class. So we'll see. I'm gonna show my stuff. Hopefully, I'm like mid pack. But I do have a heavy deadlift, so that's going to save me. I'm going to show my strength that way. And yeah, just have some fun. It's a big celebration, right? Especially when women are involved in strength sports. I think that's just huge and very empowering. So I would love to be part of that celebration and just show my strength.
That's show your strength, and she does show her strength all the time. And don't forget, you're watching Female Empowerment Movement, and join Fem at Join FE Movement. Join FE Movement on all social media. We got Taylor Woods. We got another hockey player coming on. We got the one and only Digit Murphy. We got all this, the Renaissance Mama, Talk with Shauna. Everybody wants to be a part of Fem, because you know what? I gotta say this. I gotta say this to Taylor. Like we talked about this, honesty. This is a better logo than the PWHO. What is this? Look, the M like a W and a crown. You should be a crowning achievement. A hockey player, a champion hockey player, a strong woman champion, playing in Dubai. By the way, tell everybody, did you win the championship in Dubai?
We did. It was very victorious. So got some bruises from blocking
Okay,
shots,
hold
but that's
on, hold
I'm
on.
just that
Who
team
was the
player.
MVP of that championship? Who was the
No,
MVP of that championship? She's
yeah,
modest. Go ahead.
I did. It was a team effort. I just loved to play for that team, and I just
All
played my
right, it
heart.
was a team effort, but your fans are watching to the MVP of the Dubai Hockey Championship, Taylor Woods. All right, Taylor will hopefully be on later this week. Thanks a
Yep.
lot for this. Remember how to get a hold of her one more time?
Yeah. Instagram at T-Woods Training, and on X, formerly Twitter, at Tay_Storm.
All right, thanks a lot, Taylor.
Thank you.
All right, that's Taylor Woods, and just minutes ago was Digit Murphy here on Female Empowerment Movement, also on the Fired Up Network, also on my Twitter, Joseph Pasek. New logo, and by the way, check out fem.ca. Fem.ca is now up. FEM Network, femnetwork.ca. Femnetwork.ca. Check that out. We'll be back for more great programming here on FEM.